If you're looking for a boilerplate-free way to work with REST in Jmix, this video is for you. And if you're a pro Jmix developer, stick around till the end to discover a new way to work with REST in Jmix. As a starting point, I will use the Pet Clinic project available in the GitHub repository, link in the description below. The project already contains several entities as shown in the diagram. Since we have security features in our application, we'll need an access token to reach our endpoint. For that, we'll install the authentication server add-on from the marketplace along with the REST add-on. We'll also add the role we want to access. Great. Let's say we need to expose a service that returns the first limited amount of pet names. Pay attention that we've annotated the class to indicate that this is a Spring service bean and specified its name. The first method is to use Spring MVC. Since Jmix is based on Spring, we can use Spring MVC to expose our service method. So I already have a REST controller class. It contains a method using the service we've introduced and exposes it with the get mapping annotation with the endpoint we want to reach. To secure this controller via the same auth mechanism as in the rest of the application, we'll register the controller's URL pattern in the application property. Now we can test our endpoint. So I will use Postman for that. First, I'll request an access token. For that, I will copy the client's ID and its password. Okay, now we have our token and can use it to pull the endpoint I mapped earlier. And we got our response. If you don't want to write controllers for each service, you can use Jmix's generic REST add-on. Not only does it automatically expose all your entity's CRUD methods, but it also allows you to expose your business logic declaratively using XML or annotations. However, it offers less control over request and response headers or other parameters. Let's see how it's done. We'll delete the REST controller and create an XML file in the resources package called REST services. Here we'll mention the service by its Spring component name and add any method that we want to expose along with its parameter. Finally, we can add the configuration in our properties file. Let's try this out. So as always, I will invoke the token request and call the same endpoint. You can check the Swagger documentation to write the correct endpoint. Nice, everything seems to work fine. Since Jmix 2.3, we can expose our endpoints even simpler by using the same declarative method but with annotations. This way, we don't even need to think about the XML file if any modifications occur. Let's remove the configuration in our properties and delete the XML file. What we can do instead, we'll write a Jmix REST service annotation above our service and add a REST method annotation on top of the method we want to expose. And that's it. REST service inherits Spring service annotation the same way service inherits component, which means this class will be registered in our application context as an ordinary Spring bean. The REST method annotation simply exposes our service method. Let's test this endpoint. We'll use the same endpoint as in the XML configuration. Awesome! Now you know how to expose your endpoints using 3 different methods. That's all for today. Consider liking if you find this video useful and subscribe for more content. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments or contact us through social media. Links in the description below. See you on the next video.